Latrobe Speedway studio. Welcome to Ride Along Podcast.
Well, hello and a very pleasant good evening, race fans. Welcome to the hazy, hot, humid Latrobe Speedway days of summer. It's time once again for this week's edition of the Joe's Body Shop and Towing Speed Shop, Latrobe Speedway Speed Shop. And tonight we have a very special guest. We're going to be talking shortly with EJ Rozak from New Salem, Pennsylvania, coming off a big win this past Saturday night. A couple things I'd like to get into first before we welcome EJ to the speed shop here. And that is, well, I tell you what, we're getting into some warm, hot, humid, and muggy weather days ahead of us. And you just never know what Mother Nature will bring us with this humidity, water grains, and all this good stuff that all these meteorologists do a much better job than we do following. But most importantly, again, just a reminder, keep up to date with our Latrobe Speedway website, latrobemotorsports.com, and also our Facebook page, Latrobe Speedway Stock Car Dirt Track. Any updates, if we have any web situations, please visit our pages, like those pages, not only to keep an eye on the weather, but also to follow your Latrobe Speedway Superstar, to look at pictures, to get information. It's all ready for tips, updated press releases. So again, latrobemotorsports.com and Latrobe Speedway Stock Car Dirt Track Facebook page. Number 77 from the Joe's Body Shop and Towing Pure Stock Division here at the Latrobe Super Speedway. We welcome to the speed shop EJ Rozak. EJ, welcome aboard, brother.
Thank you, Mike.
Hey, thanks for coming aboard. I know your schedule is kind of can get discombobulated during the middle of the week, your work schedule and so on, and maybe we can touch upon that a little later. But first and foremost, well, I'll tell you what, coming off the Ron Schmucker Memorial this past Saturday, in addition to, for our pure stocks, the Bill Finley Memorial, it must have been awful nice visiting the bank yesterday and depositing that $1,500 check for that big win. Take it away.
Yeah, I tell you, to race for that type of money that we get to at Latrobe Speedway, it's up until a few years ago, that type of money is unheard of in the pure stock class. It's amazing what they've done, the outreach they have to get these sponsors and these great people that are willing to donate that amount of money for any type of pure stock race like that. It's unheard of, really, around here.
And that's a very good point you make, because basically the last two pure stock events were extremely lucrative. Unfortunately, the Charlie Field Memorial that we had a couple weeks ago, you had an incident during your heat race and kind of put you out for the feature. But I think it shows. I'd like to give a shout out to Dennis and Kathy. It's kudos to them, because they know how important our support classes are to the success and the viability of local Saturday night dirt track racing, grassroots racing. Listen, we all love supers. We all love the big. We all love the sprint cars. But boy, when you guys are bringing us 26 cars for the Charlie Field Memorial, when you guys are bringing us 21 cars for the Bill Finley Memorial, it's time to say thank you. And I think that's exactly what Dennis and Kathy are doing.
Oh, absolutely. They're packing the stands and they're packing the racetrack, and nobody wants to watch 6 cars race. Sometimes it just happens. There's a small field of cars, but when you have a track full of race cars, 25, 26 cars on a racetrack, that's what everyone wants to see.
What's the appeal of this pure stock class? What is the if you're talking to someone who wants to get into dirt track racing here at Latrobe and you're telling them about your division, what would people like you and Anthony and the rest of the gang tell someone new about the Joe's Body Shop and Towing pure stocks?
Well, I tell you what, it's exciting. We like the pure stock class because you can still do and build most of the stuff for the car. I mean, it's production parts. You know, I still use GM metric spindles. I mean, there's GM control arms on the bottom of my car. I mean, it's not above that class when you get into a late model, when it's you got to go to Rocket, or you got to go to you have to buy the pieces. You know, it's still a car. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's by no means stock anymore, but it's still a car.
No, I agree, and that's a good point. We're way past the days of running to the junkyard and getting parts. 30 years ago, even 20 years ago, but still, I think Dennis and his team are doing the very best they can. You know, costs are very difficult to control. Sometimes it's just out of our power to do so. But I know Dennis and the team are doing their very best to not only control the cost but give back. And we certainly talked about that with the last two lucrative races for the Joe's Body Shop and Towing Pure Stocks. Hey, listen, I always tell our Latrobe fans, I love marketing you guys to our wonderful fans. I want the fans to know who Anthony is and who EJ is and Corey is and on and on and on. And just not with the Pure Stocks, but everybody. And this is a great forum to do that. Tell the fans about EJ Rozak and what life's all out down there in New Salem, Pennsylvania, just outside of Uniontown. What do you do for a living? What's life about?
Oh, I tell you, I started racing in 2005. Once you get that bug, it's hard to get away from. I tried to quit a few times. That doesn't work. You know, I've always been involved with cars and racing of some sort, whether it be motocross or drag racing, doing things on the street that I shouldn't do. But it always goes back to dirt track racing. That's really that. Kind of hard to get away from that. But we work 2 full-time jobs basically to keep the car on the racetrack. I mean, if you want to be competitive, you have to work for it. I work at Trigon Incorporated, FPD company. We make aerospace parts and some prosthetics, implants. 40-hour week job plus, and then I come home and work in the garage. If I'm not working I'm probably doing something on the side to make some extra cash for the race car. You know, we hunt and got to have fun. Still have plenty of time to have fun.
No, and I think, speaking on behalf of the Latrobe fans, we admire your dedication and your passion for the sport, but still keeping everything into perspective. It is about fun. When it no longer becomes fun, that's I think that if you talk to some ex-drivers, they'll tell you when the fun is gone, it's time to park things and move on. But doesn't sound like to me like you're anywhere near that. Looking into this weekend and talking, I'm going to kind of put together because we coming up to the end of July already. We had any weather issues last Saturday. Let's hope we can maybe get on a roll here, because the Latrobe Speedway Championships points battle is so critical. These races, these points battles are so critical, and we've missed so many due to inclement weather and so on. You mentioned earlier, you know, I always and myself and Dave always kind of try to get the fans geared up and excited about the Latrobe Speedway Championship points battles. You mentioned you're not a real points man. You're currently second in the points battle at Latrobe this year, trailing Anthony by 40. But that's not of real interest to you, is it?
You know, we in 2000, I think it was 2019 or 2000. It was 2020. 2020, we were doing really good. You know, it was the second year at Latrobe, and for some reason, I said, you know what? Let's race every week. Let's run for points. It was fun at first. It becomes, and don't get me wrong, I still love racing, but it starts, you miss birthdays. I missed my sister's kids' birthday parties. I missed things that probably I shouldn't have missed, but we had to be at the racetrack. And I don't regret it, but it can become very stressful. it becomes like you have to be there. And at this point in my life, I love racing. I'll probably be there as much as possible anyway, but I don't want to feel like I have to be there.
We talked to Matt Welts a few shows back after his big win in the Charlie Field Memorial. And you basically echoed something he said, which really struck a chord with us, that he came off that big win, packed a big envelope of cash and took it to the bank come Monday morning. The following Saturday, he wasn't going to be at the track. Why not? It was both of his kids' birthdays. And he said family first. And kudos to you as well for echoing what Maddie said that night. You don't want this to become a job, a second job. It sounds like you already have 2 jobs. You don't need a third. But as long as you keep the fun in the sport, very proud to talk to you. And I'll tell you what, if there's one thing I've learned as I get to know all you Latrobe superstars is, boy, I tell you what, you are a class act of kids, very grounded. And it's truly, it's an honor, a privilege to announce your names. I know I'm speaking on behalf of Dave as well, Dave Lape. It's an honor to announce you kids' names. I shouldn't say kids, but I'm probably good many years. I got a good many years on you. But let's talk about this coming week. A big weekend, something where Dennis and Kathy are able to give back to the fans. It's Fan Appreciation Night, along with Nostalgia Race Night at the track. We're going to tell you why it's Nostalgia Night here shortly when we talk about the schedule. But Fan Appreciation Night, I've known this for years. The kids, the fans love it. But it's kind of in reverse now, where the drivers absolutely enjoy meeting, greeting, mingling with all the fans on the front stretch of their favorite speedway. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing this Saturday after hot laps. Can the kids look forward to getting their picture taken with that yellow number 77 and meeting their favorite driver, EJ Rozak, this Saturday?
Oh, absolutely. Before they rescheduled, we had an unfortunate racing incident in the Charlie Fields race, and the car was all tore up. And we didn't even know if we were going to be able to race. That following week was supposed to be Fan Appreciation Night, but it had rained. We were going to be there regardless for the kids. Even if we couldn't race the car, we were going to get the car patched together for Fan Appreciation Night. That's our future. That generation, if we don't get that generation involved in racing, our sport is going to die. So it's very important for me to see kids get involved with racing, whether it be go-kart racing, bike racing. I mean, that's what we have to do to keep this sport alive.
Very well said. And for our fans who are going to be watching and viewing this throughout the remainder of the week, Saturday night for Fan Appreciation Night, pit gates are going to open at 4, grandstand gates at 5. There will be hot laps right around the 7 o'clock hour. And then after hot laps is when Dennis and the team, John Smiley, DJ Johnson, Billy Rupert, Denny, will bring in all the drivers out onto the front stretch. Fans, you're going to enter the speedway down in turn number 1, just exactly where your favorite Latrobe Speedway drivers enter the track each and every Saturday night. So Fan Appreciation Night this week is going to feature, of course, EJ and the rest of his colleagues in the Joe's Body Shop and Towing Pure Stocks. The K2 Engineering late models will be in point race action. The Specialty Metals modified 4 cylinders will be in action, along with the Dean Pollock hobby stocks. This week, we're also welcoming the first visit this year of the PA Thunder on Dirt Vintage Modified Series. I love this series. It's a throwback. It takes us for a little trip back in time as to what those modifieds look like, whether they were the mud buses or whether they were using old Pinto bodies or AMC Gremlin bodies. You can look for people like Fred Hildenbrand and Matt Hildenbrand. Let me think. Todd Doffenball. I'm hoping will be there. Connellsville's Thomas Warburton, who's not a stranger. Hank Coles. I'm hoping William Stiles. Wally Stock from over in Kecksburg. I expect him to be at Latrobe with the PA PA Thunder on dirt vintage modifieds. And you may see some travelers. I don't think Steve Longo is going to make it down from Bradford. He loves coming to Bedford. I'm sorry, to Bedford, to Latrobe. He's not going to be able to make it, I don't believe. But you might see Mark Hahn. You might see Gene Wrightstone. You might see the guys from out east, central Pennsylvania, around Harrisburg, and John Marks, who's from Middletown. They enjoyed their first ever trip to Latrobe last year, so we can anticipate them. Just want to throw a few names out there for when just to kind of get you a little stoked and excited as the PA Thunder on Dirt Vintage Modified Racing Series will be joining 4 of our regularly scheduled divisions for Fan Appreciation Night. Speaking of Fan Appreciation Night, I'm going to continue on with that theme, if you don't mind, EJ. And that is, Kathy puts her heart and soul into this night and her team. And thanks to their hard work and dedication, we're going to have a lot of baskets to chance off via the Chinese basket raffle. There's going to be a lottery ticket basket. I think there's some summertime theme baskets. There's back to school baskets. There's an assorted wine basket. And I think there's kind of a pet theme basket. I understand a brand new flat screen TV is going to be raffled off as well in conjunction with Fan Appreciation Night. For the kids, moms and dads, grandmas and grandpas, big brothers, big sisters, aunts and uncles, whoever, the Latrobe Speedway Kids Club is always accepting new members. If you'd like to learn more about the Kids Club, because again, our staff puts a lot of time and effort in, and it just echoes what EJ said a few minutes ago about doing whatever we can to get these kids, the pester mom and dad and grandma and grandpa. I want to go to the races. I want to go to Latrobe Speedway. And a fun way to do that for the kids is to be a part of the Latrobe Speedway Kids Club. Visit our website, LatrobeMotorsports.com. There's a link there for the Kids Club. Well, my goodness, it's going to be a big night this week. We got a couple warm, hot, humid days coming up that will get you all excited for the hot and heavy racing action you're all going to experience Saturday night at Latrobe Speedway. EJ, any final parting thoughts that you'd like to add? I certainly appreciate you joining us here in the speed shop. I know you hit the hay usually around 7:30 because you're getting up about 2:30 in the morning to start your workday, aren't you?
Yeah, about 2:30 I get up and I work 4 to 1 on that helps me so I can race Fridays. If we have Friday nights race in Roaring Knob, I have to be home in time. My work is generous enough to let me work around my schedule on afternoon shift. I can work 410s if I'm on afternoon, so I'm off Friday. So there's a lot involved in just racing. I mean, there's a lot of give and take, and man, I earn as much as I can.
Well, again, kudos to your hard work, your dedication, and your passion to the sport, but more importantly, your hard work, dedication, and passion to racing with us at Latrobe Speedway.
Absolutely. And the kids ought to have plenty of treat bags and goodies and pictures and all the drivers, I've been involved in every autograph night, fan appreciation night that Latrobe has had, and there's not been a bad one. I mean, all we need is a little help from Mother Nature. We'll be okay.
Well said. There's never a bad fan appreciation night. EJ Rozak, thank you so much for joining us in here in the speed shop. We will see you Saturday as you will be competing with your colleagues in the Joe's Body Shop and Towing Pure Stock class here at Latrobe Speedway. EJ, God's blessings to you. See you Saturday.
See you, Mike. Thank you.
Hey, back real quick with our special guest here in the speed shop, EJ Rozak. EJ, we got so into our conversation, I didn't even give you an opportunity to pay the bills, so to speak, and thank all the wonderful people, businesses that help you on that 77. So, my bad. I apologize. Why don't you make some of your sponsors happy and give them some airtime?
Yes, absolutely. It takes a lot of sponsors to keep the wheels turning, so to speak. But obviously, Joe Shiroki at Joe's Body Shop and Towing, man, he's an awesome asset to the track and to myself. He's been a personal friend of mine for a long time. CWC Welding and Fabrication, lavish performance. He builds the horsepower underneath the hood of the 77. He has for years, and I'll take his motors to any place, put them against anybody, you know. Penn Summit Insurance, Collins Roofing Remodeling, Miller's Greenhouse and Flower Shop. There's so many people that help me out. It's just unbelievable. Black Diamond Equipment Rental. I know I'm forgetting a few people. Wisneski. It's like when you're getting your picture taken at the end of the night. You remember everything but the most important people that help you out. But all those guys and my friends and family.
Just like here on the air, just like here in the speed shop. Such a good conversation. Forgot to give it, but I'm glad we were able to do that. So again, EJ, I repeat, God's blessings. See you Saturday, my friend.
Yep, see you Saturday. I can't forget the car builder either, Maniac Chassis. I gotta thank Sam McAdams and Molly McGuire for all the help they do for me.
Good golly, Nurse Molly. Oh, that's awesome. Yes, that is one bad hot rod that is put under your lead foot, man. Very excellent. Good to give Sam and good golly, Nurse Molly a shot out there. Way to go, EJ.
Yes,
have a good one, buddy.
You as well.
Weekend it was this past Friday and Saturday, where we had our wild card Friday. Again, Dennis and Kathy and the team doing what they can to get some races in for our drivers that have been so decimated. Our schedule's been decimated by weather, but able to get 2 nights of racing in here at the most coveted piece of real estate in all of Westmoreland County, Latrobe Speedway. Had a lot of winners. Want to give some shout outs to Rich Wicker in the 358 limited late model division on Friday. Seth Nedrow picked up the win in the Marilungo Disposal, strictly stock 4 cylinders. Paul Koffler III picked up the win in the specialty metals, modified 4 cylinders. And then the big one Saturday night, the Jay's Automotive ULMS super late models. Logan Zarin picked up the big $5,000 payday. Much of the money donated into that entire lucrative purse was courtesy, of course, of our sponsors, along with Dennis and Kathy and the Schmucker family. So we thank them. Justin Connors picked up the win in the Marilungo Disposal, strictly stock 4 cylinders, and Paul Koffler doubled up the weekend with another big win. Real quick, again, a reminder, Latrobe fans, this Saturday night, Fan Appreciation Night, Nostalgia Racing Night at the Super Speedway. Grandstand gates will open at 5. Pit gates will open at 4. Let me get my notes here just to make sure I get everything straight here. On tap is the K2 Engineering Crate late models and point race action, the Joe's Body Shop, Joe's Auto Body, and Towing Pure Stocks, the Specialty Metals modified 4 cylinders, the Dean Pollock stocks, and the Pennsylvania Thunder Under Vintage Modified Series. You might want to get there early, bring the kids. We will have hot laps at 7. At that time is when we will invite the drivers out onto the front stretch of our Saturday Night Party Palace. And then, of course, invite all you fans and kids out there to meet your favorite superstars. So again, hope to see you for Fan Appreciation Night and Nostalgia Night this coming Saturday, July 29th at our favorite Party Palace each and every Saturday night, Latrobe Speedway. For more information, latrobemotorsports.com or on Facebook, Latrobe Speedway Stock Hard Dirt Track. Everyone, on behalf of my good friend, Justin, who's back in the studio, our IT professional puts all this together. Thank you, Justin, for being a part of the show and giving me this wonderful opportunity to represent the Speedway each and every week here in the Joe's Body Shop and Towing Speed Shop. So thanks again, everyone. God bless. See you Saturday. Latrobe Speedway fans, before we leave you, know the success that we've enjoyed here at the Speedway would not be possible without all of you, along with all of our great sponsors. So please remember to support these fine businesses when you're never in need of the products or services they offer, because they love what you love. They love what we love. Stock car racing at Latrobe Speedway. Thank you to Bowers Farms, Wisneski Waste Removal. We want to thank Dean Pollock, Marilungo Disposal, Specialty Metals, Joe's Body Shop and Towing, K2 Engineering. A huge thank you as well goes out to Latrobe Billiards for being a part of our marketing team. Latrobe Glass and Mirror, General Carbide, Bowman's Plumbing, Garry's Auto Sales, Porta John, the Auto Tag Store, RPM, A1 Machine and Performance, Seal Tite Paving and Maintenance, DJS Swag, and GVD Powder Coating. Thank you to each and every one of those businesses for your support and your partnership here at Latrobe Speedway.